If you're thinking about hiring an Amazon virtual assistant and you're not sure whether to do it in-house or use an Amazon agency, then this is going to be the video for you. I've been there, I've done it, I've even done it myself, and I'm going to share with you everything that I've learned. Stay tuned. Right, if you don't know who I am, my name is Thomas Parkinson, and I've built 3 companies using virtual assistants, and 2 of which have roared past the 7-figure mark. Now, I've managed over 80 virtual assistants at the height of my operations, and for the past 6 years, I've immersed myself in this entrepreneurial journey, doing e-commerce, service-based ventures, and I've had VAs doing everything from spending hundreds of thousands a week on my business, to emails, to video editing, to software development, and everything that I'm learning, I'm sharing within this YouTube channel to support you and documenting my journey. Okay, so today we're going to be going through the pros and cons of hiring in-house versus using an agency. Now, the first thing I want to do is jump into the in-house option. So let me jump through some of the pros and some of the cons of that, and then we'll jump into the agency side. Pros side, in-house. Number 1, having a personal touch. Now, when you hire in-house, you're going to be able to build a direct relationship and get to choose that VA that is going to work for you. This means that you can build a great bond with your VA and generally more personalized interactions. I've traveled to the Philippines, I've met so many of my staff, and it's been a real eye-opener, and I've absolutely loved it. And I know that if they work for me, we're going to have a long-term relationship, which I think is such a benefit for the long-term success of my business. Now, the second pro is going to really allow you to tailor your training. The one advantage that you have with in-house is that you can really shape and mold their training from day one. They're not going to come in with bad habits or maybe training which wasn't to the standard if the agency isn't doing it right. You are going to be able to develop that from scratch, which means that your VAs are going to develop the skills specific to your business needs, which can be game-changing if you're in a very unique situation. Now, the third advantage to in-house is financial savings. Straight away, hiring from an agency generally costs upfront a higher amount than doing it yourself if it works well. And this can be really cost-effective, as this is going to help you save in the initial run, but also over the long term, agencies generally take a fee if they're going to continually be a middleman taking a cut of the wages, which is going to eat into your costs going on the long term. Now, the fourth advantage I can think of is having a long-term vision. If you are building a business for the long term and you want these staff to work for you for a long period of time, having it done in-house is going to be more cost effective, but also as well, it means that they're going to work for you, not for a third party. This means that they're going to probably buy into your vision a lot more, they're going to feel part of it, and that means that your business will go from strength to strength a lot easier and quicker than using a team of outsourced professionals rather than in-house professionals. Before I dive into the downsides of hiring in-house, the one thing I want to share is for those leaning towards maybe hiring in-house, you want to make sure that if you are doing this, you want to have a clear job description and a contract that you can sign when you do find and hire that right VA. Now, in fact, what we've done is we've created a free download that you can access right now in the description for that job description and contract. So do check it out, have a look in the description down below. Let's jump into the cons of going in-house. The first one that's going to be quite obvious is the time it takes. Finding, hiring the right person is a time-consuming process. From advertising through to interviews and then onboarding, even training the right skill set is hard. This is a really hard point, and it's one of the biggest downsides of the time, should we say, for hiring in-house. And the fact that not only that, they can fail, which leads me nicely onto my second downside, which is risk. If your VA that you've just found, you've done all the process, doesn't work out, guess what? You've now got to restart the entire hiring process. And this can be not only tedious and draining, but also super costly for you in time and money. Now, the third downside I can really think about is the responsibility. Training, managing, troubleshooting, even day-to-day operations of, should we say, managing team members is hard work. This is why there are people called managers, and even agencies can take this responsibility off you. Having a team is actually can be challenging and hard work, and especially if you're not a people person, this might not be the way you want to go. So it's definitely a con of having an in-house team. Now, the fourth issue you can think of is having turnover problems. An agency, if you lose a team member, they're going to be right there, replace you, and what they're going to do is give you a new VA in time to carry on the business. With you, you're probably going to have to stop what you're doing, maybe find someone else, go through the whole process again, retrain them up to the standard that needs to be. It's going to be a nightmare. With an agency, you can actually just train a little bit to measure the gap between their experience and the standard that you want. Now, what I am going to say is stay with me till the end, because I've got a unique solution that blends the best best of both in-house and agency, which I think you're going to want to know about. Stay to the end. Let's jump over to the agency side. I'll jump through the pros and then I'll go through the cons. So let's start with the pros. Number one, quick matches. Agencies generally have a roster of VAs, which are going to mean that if you've got a requirement, you are going to get a solution quicker because they just know the people who are going to be right for your role easier. Number two, they're going to have pre-trained talent. What does that mean? It means you don't have to worry about finding someone, training them up. They are going to be experienced. They're going to have VAs who know what they're doing and they can jump in with hands on deck. And then you only need to just train the gap between how to apply that talent or that experience to your business. Much, much easier. Number three, they're going to have a backup plan. If you have got VAs with a problem, or maybe this VA isn't working out, agency generally have backups, which means that you get a quick replacement much faster, not having to go out and think about hiring, doing the whole process again. That's going to be so key. One thing I will say is if you are liking this video so far, don't forget to make sure you hit the like button down below. And hey, even drop your thoughts down below or any questions you've got. It helps me create more content that's going to support you. Let's jump back onto the cons of partnering with an agency. Well, the first one's going to be easy: cost. Agencies often come with costs due to their service fees, and this is going to mount up over time, which has a real impact on your bottom line profitability. The second one is going to be relationships. With an agency, there is someone between you and your member of staff or VA that's working. So quite simply, there's going to be a middleman who actually the VA works for. As a result, you'll always maybe feel that that VA isn't actually yours, and maybe your relationship with them could be very different. Number three, fixed methods. Some agencies have fixed ways of working that might not really gel with the way you want. Perhaps maybe you want a bit more flexible working environment and they're really strict on time tracking. That's maybe not how you work. Or perhaps maybe the VAs they place can't operate in the way your business wants to operate and it's forever changing. That's going to be quite challenging. So VAs, agencies can struggle with this. Now, number four, long-term expenses. We talked about it earlier on, but I think it's something to really iterate. Some VAs charge an upfront fee. Some VAs have a much higher, should say, monthly or a cut of the wages. This is going to add up and probably one of the biggest disadvantages of having a VA. Now, I know so many people who've actually gone back to the agencies and tried to buy the VA out from the agency. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked, which is a long-term consideration if you are thinking of having an agency. What is my take? Well, quite simply, for a quick solution, if you are looking to buy a specific skill set that you need soon, and generally not for the long term, agencies are a no-brainer. They're going to save you time, they're going to offer pre-trained talent, and they're going to get that quick. However, if you are envisioning a long-term hire, maybe someone that you're going to share some secrets with your business, the way you operate within your business, which makes you unique, maybe certain ways to find profitable products or deal with problems, then perhaps maybe the upfront cost and effort of actually hiring in-house is going to prove beneficial because you want to retain the top talent over the long term and the company secrets. Now, I mentioned it earlier on. I said there was a hybrid solution that I want to introduce you to, and I want to introduce you to the Track FBA VA Academy. We understand the dilemma you're faced between in-house and using an agency. This is where we have actually combined our expertise to create a unique solution that no one else does. We're going to find, hire, and train a VA for you. We're going to support them within the first 12 weeks within your business, and this is going to be as part of the package. And if you get any problems with them, if you're not happy, or maybe they leave within those first 12 weeks, we will replace that VA for you and reset the timer. After that, they're all yours. They no longer work for us. They are yours. There are no reoccurring agency costs. The VA is yours. And this is the perfect sweet spot between direct hiring and agency for support. And if you want to know more, then have a look at the link in the description down below, the Track FBA VA Academy. Now, the one thing which I'll say out of all of this is decisions. There are a lot of options. But what I will say, whether you go in-house, whether you do an agency, or whether you even choose the Track FBA option, this can be game-changing for your business. And as I've seen, growing 2 7-figure business, it's changed my business, but not only that, it's changed my life. So if you like this, make sure you hit the thumbs up and hey, hit the subscribe button to see any more videos that I record.